Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third episode of the DashCast. My guest today is the one and only coder guy, Colin. I guess
Hey,
you'd
that's
call it short.
me.
Yes, that is you. So how are you doing today?
That's good.
All
Bit
right.
tired.
I mean, who isn't tired? I've been tired for like months on end now. Everyone's tired. It's just how this year's been.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. I was at the climbing gym earlier, so like my hands are like actually exhausted.
Oh, the gym, the place I haven't gone to in years.
Maybe RobTop knows a thing or two.
Yeah, I think he sounds like the kind of person who'd go to the gym. But yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and get started. So, here's
Yeah,
a
sure.
question a lot of people willing to bet are curious about, and that's just why is your name Colon? Like people like you've brought up that punctuation, but like, is there a deeper story behind it?
Yeah, good. I think it's good that we just get this one out of the way since it's, I think, the first question everyone's going to have, especially if they don't know who I am.
Yeah.
Uh, So, also for the record, you can just call me Craig while I'm here, since I've always kind of hated being called Colin in voice
Okay.
chats. It's totally fine in text since I'm so used to it, but as soon as you say usernames out loud, it gets kind of weird,
Okay.
especially when it's named after a body
Punctuation
part.
or
So the thing about
punctuation.
Colin is that it's not supposed to be named after a body part. I was just really young, and I didn't really know about said body part back then. To me, it was just the punctuation mark. And personally, when I think about Colin, it still is that. So it all started. I can't give you an exact date. All I remember is that it was many, many years ago. Whatever age you would all play on DSIs, that's when it was. So we were on a long car ride to somewhere playing DS download play games with my brothers. I would assume it was Mario versus Luigi since that's still my favorite multiplayer game to all time, and I still want Nintendo to reboot it.
You mean the New Super Mario Bros. One, right?
Yeah, the one where you have to collect
Yeah.
you have to collect 10 big stars.
Yeah. I remember me and my
Uh
brother would play that sometimes too. That was
10
a great
stars,
one.
5 lives, random stages.
Yeah, that was fun.
So fun. I love the pipe world and the snow world.
Oh yeah, the pipe world
Off
was cool.
topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my brother went by Slash back then. No idea why. I think my name on the DS at the time was like, I don't know, I changed it pretty frequently. I think it was like Q-tip, I don't know. But
Cute.
I saw my brother with Slash and I was like, hey, what if I also name myself after a punctuation mark as a joke? For the record, this was just gonna be like a one-time joke. Like I just changed it for the game, and then I would change it back. So I changed it to colon to kind of mock the whole slash thing. I never ended up changing back, and somehow it stuck. Uh, and somehow it made its way to like social media. I think it started with like YouTube, or no, it started with Minecraft actually, and Steam. Uh, I mainly went by like C underscore O underscore L underscore O underscore N because there's like a 0% chance that would be taken anywhere. So that's like my original Steam username. That was my original Minecraft name. I ended up changing my Minecraft name to GD colon, which I was very hesitant at first because the original one just felt so iconic, but I didn't want anyone else to take the name, and also just it's less annoying.
Yeah, I was about to say that name is like while it's unique, I'm willing to bet most people would have a very hard time saying like I already forgot what it was. It's just not memorable and it's hard to say. So it makes sense to
C
change it.
underscore O underscore L underscore O underscore N. It's
Oh,
not
I just
actually that hard to type once you get used to it.
okay. You said the second time I've realized it's colon with stuff in between the letters. Yeah.
It's just
Um
weird because like the name has stuck so close to me that I've never really tried to think of a better name because I feel like I've been using this one for so long that it's basically my identity now, and I can't just change that. It's too hard to rebrand because I can't think of anything better when this is like what I've been using for so long.
Yeah, you see, I'm in the same predicament where like I want to change my name because when I made my name, I was a big DanTM fan, and I just based my name off his name. And I'm like, wow, I want something more original. But I suck with coming up with names, and I've already been known as JordanTRS for so long that if I were to change my name, not only would it be hard to come up with a new name, but it would also just be confusing because people would be like, I thought your name was JordanTRS. Why isn't your name that? So yeah, it's just better to keep it like this than anything else.
I mean, my problem is just that I can't change my name to just colon for obvious reasons, especially if you
Yeah,
search that up.
yeah.
I considered at one point colon with two L's, but ultimately I wasn't the biggest fan of it, and also I would lose my verification badge if I did change that. Although I do use that name on a couple of places online if I really don't want to put the GD in. I know on, I think it's Tetris.io or Tetar.io, something like that, I had to use it because the word colon was actually banned there for some reason.
Huh. That's weird. I can't really think why that'd be the case.
I don't know.
But yeah.
Bad. 1984.
But I will say, you brought up a Big Nate comic earlier, if you remember, like a couple days ago.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, they said the nickname for the football player was Slash, and when you said your brother's name is Slash, I was like, huh. That's interesting.
You'll probably be able to find the exact comic. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
found it. I already
or whatever. But yeah, so I remember I was like a huge Big Nate fan back then. I got like, I basically grew up on like Big Nate, Wimpy Kid, Calvin and Hobbes. I would get all my humor from that. I actually have 4, 8, 12, 16, at least 30 Big Nate books sitting above me, maybe like 20, 30. And a couple of Wimpy Kids. I think the rest are in my brother's room. So yeah, there was this one comic where they were talking about like football players or something, and I think Teddy or Francis says something about Slash, and then he turns to Nate and goes, you know what, I've always thought of you as more of a colon, because Nate's like, hey, what if I name myself after a punctuation mark? Like, I think Slash was the example he used.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember that comic because I've reread these things a couple of times. So it's not like I read it once and it just kind of pulled from the back of my head. I've reread these books plenty of times, and I came across this one every now and then. So I was like, hey, Slash, colon. I just kind of like paired them together and thought, all right, if I have to pick a punctuation mark, let's do colon. Plus it just sounds cooler than like question mark.
Oh, hi, question mark. That's just funny.
Dude, imagine like alternate universes where I was just a different punctuation mark in each one.
No, imagine if you were
ampersand. Would stick.
Oh no! Imagine if there was, because this is an alternate universe where your name is period. And you see,
that's worse.
Yeah, that is worse.
What's with punctuation marks being named after like?
I don't know.
You know what? I don't know if you know about ampersand, but that was actually a nickname for a while in like the early Juniper and Jaden days. That was kind of a nickname I got from, I think it was Juniper who gave it to me. It may have been Jaden. Then everyone started calling me that on Discord. I have some I have like a gray version of Sans Undertale called Ampersands. I made a few edits of that.
Of course you do.
Ampersand is a fine name. I wouldn't like totally switch my name to that because it would be so out of the blue, and I feel like if I were to rebrand it would have to at least sound similar to what I have right now.
Yeah. Which makes sense, again, because, you know, it'd be confusing if you just randomly changed your name. Because people wouldn't really... Not only would it just be confusing for people who already knew who you are, but also people who like are just figuring out who you are. They're like, oh, someone told me to check out colon. And they look it up and they're like, wait, where's colon? Yeah. All I see is weird videos that aren't
I think
colon.
The problem is with that is that I'm just kind of I'm a little bit against like telling people the name of my channel. I mean, not just because I make Geometry Dash videos, also just because I have to say, yeah, it's called colon. And then they say what, or they actually type a colon into the search bar, which if you know anything about like how Google indexes their stuff,
oh, no.
Punctuation does not do anything unless you put it in quotes.
Oh wait, is it that like how like people end up with like this like Arabic names or some crap?
Yeah, because people are like, oh, why don't you just change your name to colon, but also put a colon in it? The search engine does not pick that up unless it's like a 3-letter search. I don't know how Google handles punctuation marks. Sometimes it counts it, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember they count quotes, obviously, because that's how you do specific searches, but like that's it. I can't really think of a time that anything
I'm trying to remember where, like, I think there was someone talking about this. I think it was Edmund McMillan talking about like when he released Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus and how it was like terrible for search engines because if you type Afterbirth Plus, Google would just think it's regular Afterbirth. So that did not work out very well at all.
Yeah.
I just feel like a lot of people just kind of know me for the name. Like, oh, it's colon. Hi, colon. Nice name exactly. You got there.
Yeah. We should...
Yeah, again, I'm cool with colon. Like, if you're typing it out, I really don't care. As soon as people say it out loud, that's when it gets a little bit weirder.
For me, I'm fine because my name's just Jordan anyways. People can already
Yeah.
derive that, so you just know. Like, some people call me JordanTRS in VCs, but like most people just call me Jordan because it's kind of obvious that's my name. So it's
Plus,
not really that big of a problem for
go
me.
on. Yeah, everyone just kind of lives like separate lives on the internet versus in real life. So when someone calls you by your username over a call, you're just like, wait, what? That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to. Like, I still don't know how to pronounce like 90% of the usernames I see on Discord because I never once said them out loud.
Dude, I have that
and I've
problem
never even thought
so
about
often.
pronouncing them.
Okay, on streams, I have the problem so much because whenever someone like will like subscribe to my Twitch or like follow or give me bits, I will like be like, "Thank you for the bits." How do I say this name? And I just take like 5 years to figure out how to say it. It's just
Whatever happens, just don't make fun of the name. It's fine if
Yeah.
you butcher it. Just acknowledge it. Worst case scenario, they like correct you in the chat. Don't like
Yeah.
make fun of the name though, because these
Yeah.
people just showed support to you.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes, okay, if they're doing something stupid in chat and they haven't, and you're not like haven't supported you, yeah, that's fine. Especially if they're doing something stupid like, oh, fake scam, go to this link for free subscribers. You know, like yeah, make fun of them there. But if
Just
it's
give them what
something
they
like,
deserve. If
Yeah.
they're just being kind to you,
Yeah.
be nice. If they start to get a little weird or donate suspiciously large amounts of money, that's when you play around a little bit. At least that's what I do.
Yeah, just treat others the way you want to be treated. Why was there a reason why you made a YouTube channel? Like, was there something that inspired you to make it, or did you just discover YouTube one day and you're like, oh yeah, I want to try this?
So I'd say it just started when like I first got Geometry Dash. So I joined in like 1.9. I got the game on mobile on the same day it came out on Steam, which was a total coincidence. It was mainly just for a plane ride. Entertained myself by building that absolutely terrible first level, Chaos.
Oh yeah.
And over time, I joined the Geometry Dash community, and I say that very literally, as in the Google Plus community. Stay away from that. Well, you can't go there anymore, but it was a somewhat friendly place at the time. Now, when I checked back there a couple years later, it was so toxic. I mainly hanged out in two main communities. Number one was the Google Plus community, and number two was the Geometry Dash wiki. I probably had like hundreds and hundreds of forum posts there. I think I went by cool : there, where all the O's were replaced with
Zeros?
zeros. Yeah.
Oh my god. I remember
And,
people did that.
So the thing about the Geometry Dash wiki was they had a live chat feature there where like you could just hop into a chat room and talk with everyone. It was usually pretty crowded. This was like way before Discord. So like you just join this chat room and everyone's in there. It supported like very basic HTML, so you could, if you knew like the tag, you could type in like red and impress everybody. There's a few names I remember. There was I know like the main admin of the wiki is Hacky5. I think he's still around actually. Who else? There were definitely a lot of other people I hung out with there. There was I know there was one named Snuffles. I don't know. Seth. Yeah, Seth. He used the I don't remember what cube in particular he used, but he had a very iconic green cube. The Seth cube was I think it was the jumper icon. Oh no. It was the one for beating 300 levels, but it's colored green and blue, I believe. So yeah, I would just hang out with these people a lot. And, well, keep in mind, like, not many people, like, IRL cared about Geometry Dash, so I was just sitting there with my internet squad. And, like any other people, like, I was building levels on the side. I made some weird accomplishments, like getting 2% on ICDX. And,
You
I
made
was
a
like,
video
hey,
about that.
I want to record this, and I want to upload it, and I could send it to these random people. And, I mean, they're pretty generic videos. Let me go to my oldest videos quickly. I can try to
Yeah,
give
your
some
oldest
stories
video
here.
is the ICDX video. It's like it was like freaking like.
There's older, but it's unlisted. Like the
Oh really?
Actually, no. Let's not talk about weed as Illuminati. I'd rather not go there. That was just like I don't even know what I was thinking with that one. Remember the Illuminati confirmed videos?
Oh god, I remember those. I remember thinking they're like the funniest things back in like
Dude, the
2012.
MLG era of the internet was like the golden age.
The golden
MLG
age
era
and the
was
worst
so
age. It's
good.
weird. Like certain things in that age are like really funny, but then certain things you look back are like, Jesus Christ, that was funny.
Did we really all say like you what mate get wrecked, oh baby a triple? Yes, we did. That was the pinnacle of like that was the pinnacle of internet comedy back then. So if you don't count some Illuminati video I made in March 2015, I got 4% on ICDX, uploaded on April 21st, 2015. I actually, when I was looking through my old tablet, I actually found the raw recording of that video. It's literally just me opening up Geometry Dash, playing the level for about a minute, getting 4%, immediately stopping the recording it, and then posting it everywhere. That video is on my second channel somewhere. I just thought it'd be a funny thing to share. Yeah, so yeah, I uploaded 3 videos on the same day, April 21st. Second one was some random GD level I was making. Then the third one was just me beating Theory of Everything. I don't know. I was just kind of sharing these with random people in the community. I wasn't really thinking about going viral or anything. That was never really my goal. It just sort of happened. I feel like if you're going to do YouTube, you shouldn't do it with the motive of like, I need to do everything I can to get as popular as I can. I'm going to abuse tags in the description. I'm going to hop onto whatever is relevant. This whole time, I was never thinking about popularity. I was just kind of uploading random videos like a cringy little kid, and somehow they got traction. Well, actually, barely. Let's see. So my first upload was April 21st. My 10 subscriber special was April 30th.
Let's not get into that. I'm about to ask you a question about that. Don't worry. I was about to ask you a question about that later on, about how you grew so fast.
Yeah, the 10 subscriber special where it was just a recreation of the 2.0 trailer. 2.0 only took like a year to come out. That felt like such a long wait. The problem is we've been waiting for 2.2 so long that it like doesn't even feel like a wait anymore. It just feels like you're waiting for Silk Song or the Cuphead DLC or something. It's just not going to happen.
It's like the heavy update for TF2. That was like confirmed by Valve like forever ago, and they're like, "Oh wow, it's going to happen." And it's been like I don't know how long, and they're still waiting on it.
One early video I did want to touch on though is there was a Illusion by Doge. That guy changed his username so many times. It'd be Blast Processing. Interestingly enough, I played a recreation of Ultimate Destruction by HJ Fod. He's very well known in the community now. He does a lot of like modding. He's working on like a mod that totally overhauls the game's editor. I've been helping out a bit, and by that I mean just giving him thoughts. Yeah, and it looks super hype.
Yeah, I will say that's actually a really good thing. I use it. I actually have it, and it's really good.
Yeah, so looking back, I was very surprised to see that name. I think he just like posted on the GD wiki and was like, "Hey, look at this level I made." So yeah, the weird one, the first unlisted video, first of all the unlisted videos are public on my channel. They're just all thrown in a playlist. So they're not like on my main page, but if you go to the playlist, you'll see the one called Videos I Unlisted. So this was just me playing club step, and I hit an orb like slightly too late or early, and I died to like a saw blade that you normally wouldn't hit. So I uploaded and called it like Club Step Secret Death. I think I saw another video of the same style. So I put that up, and somehow it got really popular, probably just because the thumbnail was like the demon face with Lenny edited into it.
I thought you were going to say that you named it Club Step Bug. You're like, OMG, I died somewhere I wasn't supposed to. What a weird bug.
Well, Secret Death. But the funny thing is, why else was there a saw blade there to prevent for that exact thing? So it's not a secret death. It's just a death that you don't get very often unless you're like really dumb with hitting the orbs.
Which you were, which is how it became a thing.
I think I may have actually been trying for it. No, I think I was just recording the bug where if you hold at the very start, you hit perfectly between those two spikes, and you can keep playing.
I will say, that trick is very weird in 144 Hz. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't work, I think.
Yeah, well,
I think it's a thing that's to do with whether or not you're... I think it's something that's to do with whether or not you're windowed mode or something, from what I remember. I don't know.
The thing I'm wondering is which mechanics are going to be adopted in 2.2. I'm not sure if everything's going to play like 60 or 144.
That is actually
some things might break. I remember this was a very recent video, the how to make a good GD level one, where I was recording that Obama gaming thing. I found there's a little jump at the start, which you can only make the jump if you're speed hacked to about 0.33. Otherwise, it doesn't let you, which makes absolutely no sense. So yeah, Club Step Secret Death got some traction. One thing that's very funny, for at least the first year of my videos, I was just using the screen recorder on my tablet, which back then Android was not nearly as good. So These did not record any audio at all, which meant I had to edit in all of the audio manually. The only workaround was if I recorded my mic, which was like a nightmare to me. I would never show my face. I would never show my voice, which makes sense because I was a real squeaker back then. I was probably like 12.
I was
probably
too.
like grade 4.
Here's the thing.
I think I may have been in grade 4 or 5.
I will say.
So yeah, I legitimately edited in all of the audio for my videos. I would stick it into Windows Movie Maker, sync it up. Yes, you heard that right, Windows Movie Maker, and the thumbnails were made in MS Paint, later to be Paint.net. So I used Movie Maker for the longest time, and I would actually, if I want to stack like multiple effects on top of each other, I would actually have to like export the video, then throw it back in again. It was a nightmare.
Yeah,
you know what? I worked through. Why not?
I was about
Movie
to say.
Maker's totally dead now. Go on.
I was about to say, when you said you were a squeaker back then, me, I used to be a squeaker too. The only difference is I wasn't afraid to use my voice in my videos. So if you go back to my first ever, like, let's say like a year worth of videos, you can hear my voice, and I'm like, it's clear I had not hit puberty yet. I was so high pitched.
Well, you should see my first stream where I revealed my voice.
Oh, I remember that.
I was playing Master Game, and I failed like the time challenge by like half a second. I was so mad that I turned on the mic and went, "Oh, come on." And I sounded like your average Minecrafter. Hey guys.
Hey guys, what's up guys? Welcome to another Minecraft video. Today, I'll be showing you how to summon Dream into your Minecraft world.
No, back then it was all about like the Nether reactor. I don't even know, whatever the next Minecraft update was. I got Minecraft in like 1.7.2, I think.
I got it. I think I got it around that time too. Around like it was like around the 1.7 age, about right before 1.8.
All right, yeah, we should probably move on. I was going to talk about like I have like 18 videos, questions. Like what not to make, but you know what? I'm assuming we'll get there.
Yeah. When you brought up how you started by making typically like level replay videos. I was curious what caused you to switch to the more original content, like the edited down content, like the animations and the lists and the, scripted stuff. What caused you to make that change?
For the first year or two, I quite literally just did both. If I found a cool level, I'd record it. If I felt like I hadn't uploaded a level in a while, I would literally just search for a level that seems cool and play it and then upload it. Most of the time, they were just levels I genuinely liked, though. Others I remember were like, why did I force myself to record this? Like, I think Globe Navigation comes to mind. It's a cool level. It doesn't have anything special, though. I just remember that one because the screen recorder crashed like 4 times, so I had to record the level literally 4 times.
Aw, that sucks.
I grew up with a lot of like random videos, like top 10s and tutorials and stuff. I think what not to put in your level got a bit inspired by like what not to put in your Mario ROM hack. I think I saw that somewhere. Funny enough, I would actually go on to try a bit of ROM hacking myself. So I don't know. I would just get hit with this idea. I quite literally wrote down all of the ideas on paper. I remember this was like a Saturday morning. I had an idea. I had this idea for the video. I grabbed like a pencil and a sheet of paper and wrote down what exactly I would put in it. Just random things I didn't really like in the editor. I was scrolling through the editor, the old 1.9 editor, trying to figure out what you probably shouldn't do, which is funny because my levels back then were hot garbage. I thought putting trolls in your level was like the peak of game design.
I mean, back then, trolls were used a lot. You have to be fair. Back then, people didn't really know better, so that was like...
We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling. Like, I made levels. Because the level I uploaded directly after that video was Map Maze, which is quite literally... I know I'm saying quite literally a lot. I should probably stop. That's a bad habit. Just saying literally is a terrible habit.
Literally.
Yeah, so that video was... It was a pick-a-path. It was like 50 pick-a-paths all stacked next to each other, or maybe like 20.
Oh my god.
And that is just horrible. It wasn't even a good level. So yeah, what not to make. Compared to the sequel video, which I spent so much time planning and recording footage over multiple days, editing it took forever. I had to find all the music. I made a massive spreadsheet of everything. Somehow I made the first what not to make in about a day or two, probably 1.5 days, I would say. Like, I genuinely sped through making that. It's only 5 minutes long, but there's a lot of recordings in it, and like countless stopped and started recordings. All of them I had to put the audio in manually.
Oh yeah, I forgot you had to do that.
Again, I had like, I think I still have all the raw recordings as well, because I'm a bit of a hoarder. I try to archive as many old files as I can. Nowadays, I'm a lot more willing to just throw things out and then clear the recycle bin. Back then, I just never did that. So like my tablet still has everything. My very, very old laptop, I never cleared the recycle bin once.
Yeah,
and
I remember
I'm very
you brought
proud of
that
that
up
decision, because I managed to find so much old stuff, like video files for all of my old videos. I don't know how that laptop didn't run out of space. If you know about my video that got copyright struck, GD versus real life, I was actually very close to fully re-rendering that video, and then the whole laptop just crashed on itself. I'm gonna try again sometime. In fact, I think I pushed my luck and tried rendering it in like 4K just as a joke.
Oh my god.
So yeah, what not to make. It's not the best video, although some of the stuff still holds true today. That one blew up very quickly. First video to hit 1 million. I make a lot of jokes about how most YouTubers are cursed with their most popular video always being one of their worst. But now I'm actually very comfortable with my most popular videos. I think they're some of my best work personally.
Yeah, you see,
Let
for
just check
me,
the exact list.
I'm one of those people who's cursed, because want to know what my most popular videos are? So, okay, I know for a fact I have 2 Mr. Happy Jr. style proposal videos, Nepesta and Juniper. If Juniper had over 100,000. I have Silent Circles, but every click is Wargak beating Bloodlust or something.
That still takes editing.
Yeah, but it's terrible. It was terrible. I didn't even like do the freaking spam part properly. Remember, I got so lazy with that. I didn't even do it for every click. I just like put a bunch of them and then copy pasted it. So I just was yeah. But I hate those videos. There's also like a layout video that's in my top 10 that I hated so much I privated it. I just hated it that much. I just could not stand seeing it be there.
I think I've addressed this a couple times. There was actually someone who saw my video and made their own what not to make and got like 5 million views on it. And that was a very eye-opening experience for me, because I wasn't like mad at this person. He was just kind of doing the same thing I did. He clearly said he was inspired by my video. He followed the same editing style. I thought it was cool. But that was the day I learned that it all comes down to the title and thumbnail. Literally all of it. Mm-hmm. This person just made... The thumbnail was just a massive scribble of portals. And so for all this time, I've been putting like text in the thumbnails and difficulty faces. That was the day I learned you don't have to put text in your thumbnails. That's what the title of the video is for. You don't have to spam it with difficulty faces. Just find an interesting frame in the video, or even just make your own, edit one a bit, and use that. I'm pretty sure this person didn't even try to make a thumbnail. He just used one of the randomly picked screenshots, and a lot of people somehow found it interesting. So yeah, if you look at my videos now, I very rarely put text in the thumbnail. I just kind of take a picture that seems interesting and I use that.
Yeah.
And it works very, very well.
You brought up your popularity. In fact, I'll actually combine 2 questions here. In less than a year, since you started making videos, you had already hit 10K subscribers.
It did? What?
Yeah, I checked.
So weird to think about.
Yeah, I checked.
It feels like I've been doing YouTube my whole life.
Yeah, but I was gonna ask if that... Do you remember how you reacted to that? And do you think that insane growth and you being where you are today is justified?
I honestly don't remember how I reacted to hitting 10K. I imagine I was very excited about that. Probably my first instinct was to rush to Windows Movie Maker and make a video on it. What was my 10K video? Do you have any idea?
I think it might have been the one where you like pretended to do a voice reveal, but then like did a very small
that was on my birthday. Here, wait, I'm gonna find the specials playlist. All right, let me take a look here. 10K subs was... Oh, that was when I made icons for people on Paint.net.
Oh.
That is a whole part of my life that I totally forgot about. Yeah, I was just making. I made very generic like paint.net GD icons for people. Shove it in the border, change the
Yeah, I
colors
know.
a bit. I've been considering a couple times making a program to do that for you because it would be super easy, but I don't want to do that because I want those icons to die. I think it's like a very old GD trend that
Yeah.
just it's kind of stupid now, and I'm like, ugh, when I see people still using it. I don't know. I don't want to embrace it anymore. The ones with like intense like GFX and stuff though is still really cool.
Yeah, I know.
I just think it's a bit dated.
Yeah, I know. Like my channel, my new channel. I'm not sure if I still have. Yeah, I still have it. Like, is essentially that old style of thumbnails. Actually, yeah, except it's like really, really good. Like the person who made it, like they did an insanely good job. It looks ridiculously good, and that's the only reason I like it. Because I used to use one of those profile pictures, and looking back, it was so bad. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Like I know I still have it. I can send it, but it's.
I mean,
terrible.
the profile picture I used was made for me by someone on the GD wiki. Obviously, I just requested it because I don't think anyone paid. No one paid anyone back in the old GD community days. We were all bros. Yeah, so to get to 10k subs, I think I was totally carried by what not to put in your level in GD copies. GD copies was just made out of, go figure, just anger of seeing all that random stuff on the Google Play Store. I recorded all the games. Again, I had to edit the audio in manually. And I quite literally like went into the game files of these games, ripped the audio from there, and then layered it in. So yeah. And keep in mind, Windows Movie Maker only lets you play one sound at a time. So I had to put the audio in, render the video, and then put the next layer of audio on top of that.
That sounds terrible.
I cannot believe I did that. Like,
Yeah.
wow. I could talk a lot about what not to make or GD copies, but
Yeah.
it's all about what you'd expect.
Yeah.
I was just a little kid making those little videos. They exist, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way. I have videos that I just made because I wanted to, and looking back, I'm like,
Scrolling through the list, trying to think. Toxic Sewers. I did a collab with a random person who messaged me on like Google Hangouts. It was a pretty dumb level. Q&A. I don't know. That one was just a Q&A. I remember my mom got upset because she saw the video, and when someone asked Pepsi or Coke, I said cocaine.
oh my god.
Cataclysm. I don't know, another level. Astronaut 13 by Sam35 said multiple times Sam's my brother. He wanted me to record that video. The level was too hard for me. It probably still is, so he recorded it for me.
Wait. So he's like, okay, can you like record yourself beating it? And you're like, oh, it's too hard. He's like, okay, I'll beat it for you. Then you upload.
Well, he's the one who made the level. Also, it is a genuinely good level.
Really? I haven't seen that
Like,
yet.
I still think it's very well designed, especially for a 1.9 level. It's not, like, perfect by any means, but I think he did a really good job with it. This was also back in the time when, like... Oh, sorry about the thumbnail. This was back in the time when, like... I think I had my intro by then. I try to forget the old days of the intro.
Oh yeah, because it's funny because it's like you're a massive hypocrite. You're like, oh, I hate overused songs, and then your intro used an overused song.
Yes, Sam still terrorizes me with the intro. He'll walk up to me and, hey, Craig, da 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 da, and I'm like, no. There was a dumb video I uploaded called like messing with my intro speed, where it's just my intro played at random speeds. So he'll usually walk up and hey, Craig, remember that video? It was like da 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 da, because it starts at like 0.25 speed.
Oh, no.
Oh my god. The old one was Heaven Party, then eventually I changed it to...
I think High Score.
High Score, yeah, that was what it was called.
Yeah, that's the one I think of when I think of your intro. I think of the High Score one.
It's funny, because that one was just made by a fan in like full... And it was cool, because it was like rendered super well in like 60 FPS, and then Windows Movie Maker drops that down to like 720p 30 FPS. So it gets absolutely butchered and ruined. I would always sneak in like a little message for like for like 1 or 2 frames. I always found that kind of funny. If you know how to frame advance on YouTube, it's pretty easy. You just pause and press the colon or the period or comma button, and it advances by 1 frame. Very useful trick. Before I knew that, I would just play at like 0.25 speed and constantly pause and unpause until I saw it. I think that's what most people did.
Yeah, I want to bet that's what most people did. But so, okay. It was around that time, like the earlier points of your career where you and Juniper met and became friends. Was Was there a story behind that, or how did you meet her?
So Juniper and I met. That was like much, much, much later on.
Oh, really?
You probably skipped like years of colon lore. You skipped the April Fool's disaster, which
Oh yeah, the one where you changed your name to something else and became a
colon
Minecraft
plays
YouTuber.
MC.
And you couldn't
I want
to
to go into detail in so much stuff, but I can't sit here talking forever, even though that would be fun.
Yeah, we're already 35 minutes
If you're wondering
in.
why I talked so much in that face reveal video, I mean, just look at how much I have to say here.
Yeah.
Long story short, I changed my name, and I threw a tantrum because I couldn't change it back. I was like screaming and crying. So skipping forward very, very far, this was like the golden age of my channel when I was super motivated, uploading probably a couple times a week. Some videos were good, some weren't. Eventually I stopped recording levels altogether in 2016, and now I was just recording stuff like 10 screen recorders to avoid. GD Copies 4 came out. Just levels I uploaded.
This is when you were doing the animation stuff, like when you were in your office and you had
No, that was after Juniper.
Oh,
One of my favorite videos that's still very underrated with only 30k views was like, it's called OMG Free Stars for Geometry Dash. This is like when the bots were plaguing the comments section with like those fake do a survey and get free stars websites. So I just kind of parodied it. Some of them were a lot more clickbaity, like literally just me screenshotting things I saw in Geometry Dash World and then saying, hey, look at all this stuff in Geometry Dash 2.1. Alright, so Juniper, dude, this was... Alright, I found the Juniper and Jaden video. So I think I was just reading through my GD messages at the time, and yes, I actually did read all of those. Yeah, I would sit in the schoolyard. I didn't get too many messages, and I would just read all the GD messages I got. I still get probably the same amount today as I do back then, maybe a little more. I probably get like 10 or 20 a day. Not 20, I would say, maybe like 5 or 10 a day. But it's piled up so much to the point that I have like 20,000 unread in there. I do have plans to do a video with that. No, I will not spoil what it is. It is not a reading my messages video.
I was about to say, that implies it's not a reading your messages video.
I have such a funny... This is like the next video I want to make. But again, I just can't when I don't have motivation. And also it just requires a lot of like technical stuff that I haven't really learned yet. So I read the messages and I see this one that's from Jaden. Unfortunately, I don't have the message anymore. I've searched countless times. And it's just like, hey, Colin, your videos are cool. I'm doing a stream on my channel where we're trying to hit the integer limit on attempts. Do you want to come and say hi? And
wait, that was a real stream? I didn't know that.
By the way,
I remember seeing that in one of your videos, and I thought that was just a joke. I didn't know it was a real thing that happened.
Oh yeah, it was like, by the way, I'm using your icon set. So the reason behind that was he saw the same video I did where, well, mysterious person, we'll get to that, some random YouTube person recorded that once you hit the integer limit in attempts, it overflows to the negatives, and now you have negative 2 billion attempts, which is that's just a regular integer overflow. That's how computers work.
That's how Minecraft Days works.
Although I think there actually were some other weird things, like animations stopped working, something like that, and that's what we were most interested by. Spoiler alert, I did not know this until much, much later. That person was SD Slayer, and we're bros now. And he was doing it on Finger Dash, so he was a fan of Finger Dash from the very beginning. So I hop on over to the stream. I think I replied to the message once or twice because I couldn't actually find their stream. And yeah, they're just constantly dying. They had the instant respawn hack on and a speed hack to make it a bit faster. Their death sound was the Roblox oof. May 11th, 2017 was the Juniper and Jaden video. So I was more focused on Jaden at the time. Juniper is like a side character for now. And so I see some people in the chat. I'm trying to think of like iconic Juniper people that were probably in the chat. There was like... Well, I don't know how many of them are actually comfortable with me saying their names because a lot of them have definitely changed.
Moved on.
We got you know, Maxius, for example. Not sure what they're up to now. Freeze Flare. I think Freeze Flare was there from the very start. Yeah, so one of them in particular was Juniper. And I'm so upset that I lost my Discord account because I lost all my DMs with Juniper. There was a lot of history back then. I think I could just ask her to send it to me realistically. Maybe
Yeah, you
another
probably
time,
could.
though. So my first DM from Juniper, this I have memorized. I was in the chat and I was just like, yo, like, is Juniper your friend or something? I don't even know what I said. All I remember is probably something like, yo, like she sounds really cool. DM from Juniper on Discord. I don't know when I made Discord. I don't remember. I think it was for like Club Colon, which was like when I made my own Discord server, where the only experience I had was from River Siver. Guess how that turned out? There was a lot of furry, not good images. Not that I cared, because I didn't know what that was yet, so I thought it was just pictures of animals.
Oh, no.
And also I just didn't look at it for that long, because the spam was genuinely lagging out my... I still have the old Club Colon announcement video. I just chose not to upload it because it brings me too much shame. So I had Discord by then. I got a DM from Juniper, and she just goes, "How did you know I was a girl?" And I'm like, wait, what? So apparently she has never said that she was a girl before. I'm pretty sure only Jaden knew. I just instinctively knew because, you know, Professor Juniper from Pokemon Black? Have you played Pokemon Black?
I remember playing it way back in the day, but I don't have it anymore. So
yeah, that was like one of my favorite. That was my
familiar.
first and favorite Pokemon game, Black 2. Actually, I still have not finished Black 1, and I didn't play Black 1 until years later on an emulator. But Black 2 was my first experience with Pokemon, followed by Platinum. People always get so impressed when they hear that I have a physical copy of Platinum. I'm just like, okay, it was a DS game. I bought it when it was on sale. Now it's not on sale because it's an old DS game. Why are you acting so surprised? So yeah, she's just like, yeah, I'm a girl. So Jaden and Juniper were both making videos around this time, both heavily inspired by me. Juniper's videos included bangers such as what not to put in your custom level, or GD versus real life. I think she gets a bit angry when I bring that up, but whatever.
Yeah, she brought up in her interview that she was really inspired by you back in the day.
Aw, I'm flattered. Anyways, so we're just like, we make a group chat and we're like, here's the plan. We're all homies now. We're gonna make, because Juniper did all the, I think it was either Juniper or Jaden that did those nutshell videos.
That was Juniper.
And we were like, yo, did Juniper talk about this? Sorry, I didn't watch the whole thing because I was busy watching,
she did.
like,
I don't think she did.
I was busy watching Critical Rank Bible characters. Anyways, so Juniper and Jaden in a nutshell, we just came up with jokes for each other. I think that was the first time Jaden used his voice because I told him to voice act for me, which he was somehow open to. Juniper, I think at some point Juniper revealed that she was a girl in one of the videos on her channel with like a voice reveal.
Yeah, I remember exactly how it was. There was like, she was like in a closet. People were telling her to get out of the closet.
Yeah, Junie, come out of the closet. And
yeah.
I think it's fine, though, because, like, people were very supportive. I don't think a single person was upset about that. So we make our video, and sure enough, Junie and Jaden, their sub counts start going from, like, they kind of blow up from, like, 500. Junie and Jaden were both sitting at about probably, like, 200. I think Jaden had a little bit more. Juniper did get past, though. I hate to say it, and I know Jaden, if I think they're now, if they're still around, I'm probably going to get murdered for this, but I would say Juniper's video was better. She definitely was better at when it came to editing. And so that did lead to both of them exploding in subscribers. Junie in particular kept the ball rolling and kept uploading bangers. So I think Juniper actually, I don't know. I always really hate myself for saying that I kind of kickstarted Juniper, especially since, like, nowadays most of her popularity just is entirely on her own from her consistency and dedication. But I feel like part of me thinks that I did indeed kickstart Juniper a little bit. I don't know if she would be mad at me for saying that. I'm just stating my own thoughts.
Wait, I think
she
I can find a good
very
comparison
quickly
for this.
after that video.
I think I find a good comparison for this. It's sort of like when Jacksepticeye won the shoutout contest for PewDiePie. Like, technically PewDiePie caused
I set the ball
kickstarting,
rolling, and then
Jack was already
people
going
stayed
on
for
the
the good content.
Yeah, It's sort of the
She
same
kept
thing.
making good videos after that, so people are going to stay.
Yeah.
I got her the boost she needs. Ultimately, though, it just comes down to making a video that people want to click. For example, if you upload a video like episode 1, no one would click it because no one knows. Or just, that's a bad example. Let's just say you do like a Minecraft survival world. No one would watch that because no one knows who your channel is. No one knows who you are. Why would they watch your video over anything else? So that's why a video like what not to put in your custom level got traction, because anybody can upload a video of someone playing Retray. And yes, I did indeed do that, like every other human. Although this was the old 1.9 version. Retray gets updated with like every update. It's sort of a tradition now. I don't know if you follow that.
Wait, there's a 2.0 version?
Yeah, the old Retray is significantly different from what there is now.
No, I knew there's a 2.
Uploads the level he updates the level very often.
Wait, I knew there's a 2.1 version of Retray, but I didn't know there's a 2.0 version.
Yeah, he changes it every update. Huh. He was also one of the best creators back then, Dimoviculov, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Junie gained traction. We kind of hung out. Eventually, they split apart while I was at camp. I chose to stick with Junie while Jaden slowly faded. We kept in touch, but eventually he sort of left GD altogether. So now I'm hanging with Juniper. The two of us are like absolute besties. I mean, we still hang out now, just not as much as before. Honestly, though, I think I started to like envy of Juniper a bit. Like she was getting, I had the higher subscriber count by far, but she was getting like way more views on her streams. Her community was interacting with her a lot more. And I think that's when I started to realize that, like, even though I had a big subscriber count, ultimately it's about building a community, because I never really interacted with my community. I just had people commenting on my videos, and I can't, like, name any notable commenters because they were all just kind of, like, random people. Juniper built her community on Discord. The problem is that, like, I just kind of hung out with Juniper's community. I didn't really invite people from mine into hers, although there definitely were some crossovers. So as a result, like, yeah, obviously a lot of people were coming to her streams, interacting with her. Nowadays, I don't really care anymore. We're both completely separate creators with our own styles. But for a long while, I was a little bit jealous of her. And I don't know. I feel bad for thinking that, because I should have just been really proud of her, because she absolutely popped off. I think that's fantastic.
Honestly, that reminds me, because I'm pretty sure, didn't you own the Juniverse with Juniper? And then didn't she like leave that server and then it just became the colony?
It started as I think before the Juniverse was the closet. That was like Juniper, Jaden.
Yeah, and then that closed down, and then
that Juniper eventually left that because of the toxicity, and also because she split up with Jaden. Eventually, I was on vacation during this. She told me she was going to work on the Juniverse. I helped out. She told me her rules and everything. Yeah, and we made the server and we invited people in. It exploded with members on the first day after she uploaded her video. Yeah, so fast forward many, many, many years later, like, the server's getting increasingly toxic. Juniper's a lot less active there. She's a lot less active with her fans in general. I think she communicates most on stream. She doesn't really talk with people much on Discord and Twitter anymore. On stream, she's very active with community, though.
Which is fair. That's fair, because
yeah.
When you're big, you tend to get a ton of like DMs and messages. So it's not possible to engage with all of them because, you know, there's just too many. It's not possible.
Yeah, you cannot. This was also the part where like Juniper was starting to hang out more with other people. She just got mod. She was chilling with like the people on the mod team, which I still think is really cool. Personally, I don't want mod because I don't know. People often forget that the point of GD mod isn't like a status thing. It's not to show that you're better than everybody. It's just to show that like you're trusted enough to look through levels and send them to RobTop. That's all there is to it. I don't think people should look up on moderators anymore like they're like the best players in the community, because they're not. They're just random people who are volunteering for RobTop. Yeah. And I think so many people think that moderator is just a power thing. I've said multiple times, I don't want moderator. I don't feel like helping volunteer with that. I don't want to go through so many levels. it's a really big responsibility. It's an honor, but it's a responsibility.
Great power comes great responsibility.
I mean, I just don't play that many levels anymore. I got back into the game when I was recording footage for the how to make a good level video, but that sort of faded as well. I used to play the Diggly for a while and nothing else. Honestly, I just liked seeing the community put out cool levels. Oh yeah, there was also the whole Dunsparce thing. I don't think we have to get into that.
Yeah. The Discord server thing ties into a question I had, which was that you've owned actually like several Discord servers, which you brought up, the Juniper, which turned into the colony, and then you had
never again. I'm done with Discord servers. I just want to chill on private servers now.
My question was like, is there a reason why all of those have either been deleted or you've moved on from them? Is there a reason for that?
I mean, I usually just kind of babysat other people's servers. I'd Club Colon for the long time, but I spent most of my time in Juniper's servers to the point that like I was barely even there. So that one ended up getting killed off.
That was because it was really toxic.
Yeah, when Juniper, I don't think Club Colon was that toxic. It probably was. I just forget.
I mean, you brought up the furry art, so
that was the old Club Colon. That one lasted a day.
Wait, there was multiple Club Colons?
I remade it far later in the future. Also, one key difference is that I never advertised Club Colon directly in a video, mainly just because I didn't want to have to put up with all that chaos. I wanted to just come from like fans who go out of their way to look in the description, rather than like forcing everyone to join. As a result, it was a bit more dead, but who cares? So Juniper eventually ditches the Juniverse. I take control of it. Eventually I handed it off and moved to Rhythm Doctor, and that's kind of where I chill now.
Yeah. You did
the only server I still own is I own the RobotOp server, but that's like my own side project. I don't really count that as part of the GD community or my channel. That's totally its own thing. Yeah. And I can get behind it. I'm like really chill there. Like the only real rule there is just don't be stupid. If you're acting stupid, I'll obviously take action. Otherwise, I really don't care what kind of stuff goes on there. Just use common sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Small server, so it's still very chill.
All right. So I genuinely still have so many questions. I'll probably make a part 2 of this, but at this point,
we can keep going if you want.
Yeah, we are gonna get to you, but I feel like if I were to get through all my questions, we'd be here for like 2 more hours. But that's fine. I'm okay with like doing more. One of the things you're most famous for making in GD is your Punctuation series of levels. Was there a reasoning behind why it was called Punctuation series, and was there any inspiration as to why the levels were why those levels were what they were? That was a major punctuation.
You want the real answer?
Why?
I just needed a name for the level, and I thought, hey, if I name them after punctuation marks, then I don't have to worry about naming levels in the future. So I did.
So you named them that because you were lazy.
I just wanted a name for the level, so I was like, hey, I can name it this, and then the next time I make a level, I can name it also after a punctuation mark. The fact that they were all built around like specific gimmicks was actually a bit of a coincidence, but obviously after like 2 or 3 levels, I kept the ball rolling. I have thought a lot about like future gimmicks for levels, but it's a lot harder to do than you would think. I remember I played around with like switching between hot and cold, like in the bonus chapter of Celeste, although it felt like too much of a ripoff.
You also made that one level that you got Dansman to help you learn how to decorate, which you gave up on and just uploaded saying too lazy to finish. Remember that?
Yeah. That was much later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That probably would have been a punctuation level though. I'll be honest. There was one where you took like multiple paths, like it constantly branched. I think it's a lot more cooler than just making like a single linear level. Like that's essentially what why can I not forget it? It's the Mario Castle one, Castlemania. Yeah, that. Except I want to see more levels like that with like branching paths and stuff. That was very cool. Maybe not nearly as like well made as that, but just the general idea of being able to branch off.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I don't really like when Geometry Dash levels punish you for like doing everything a very specific way. Like, for example, if you think of like the first 2 levels of Geometry Dash, Stereo Madness or Back on Track, there's many decisions in the level. For example, after the ship part, you go down a little staircase.
Yeah, you can
so
either...
you could either just not do anything and go down, or you could like jump down it, or like at the very start of the level, those first 3 pillars you jump off, you could either fall off it or jump off of it.
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays everything has to be done exactly how the creator visions. Like, if you're not supposed to jump here, cover it up with saw blades, even if it wouldn't really make that big of a difference. I think if you're able to jump there, like, who cares? Just let them do it. If it doesn't like affect like the difficulty you're going for, or it's not like a particular challenge you're putting in the level. I like to think of Geometry Dash levels as you're splitting them into like multiple different little challenges. If a break, let's say you have a little break between one of those challenges that's just a flat line, like during a beat drop or something, why would you kill the player for jumping there?
Yeah.
Like what do you get out of that? Are you somehow magically adding extra difficulty to the level? You're not. You're just punishing them for not doing exactly what you want. Like, if you're making a demon level or something, sure, you can be a lot more strict with the movements, but like, before patching out something, try to think if it actually adds difficulty or not, and if not, just let them do it. Especially if it's before a drop. I like jumping though there. And I think that's also why I don't like demon levels as much. I think they're a lot more like, I feel like they're a lot too try-hardy with, I'm just going to make this level as hard as I can. I prefer just playing the more chilled, laid-back levels, which people make just for the sake of like, hey, I have a cool song and a cool art style, I'm going to make something chill around that. Those are the levels I like. I don't play demons because I'm weak. I just choose not to because I genuinely prefer like the chill levels.
That's fair. Personally, I just play demons because I find them challenging, and I here's the thing. I understand where you're coming from, but for me personally, it can get boring playing easy levels because you pretty much always beat them fairly quickly. It's just like, wow, I beat another one.
You breeze through them pretty quickly.
Yeah. Whereas with demons, you have to stick with them for a while. You have to learn the ins and outs of them. It's a challenge. It's like beating like a really hard boss in a game. It's a challenge you have to undertake, and once you beat it, you get that rush of adrenaline. You get that sense of happiness.
It builds into your muscle memory as well.
Yeah, you
feel really good after it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like doing a very, very, very long room in Celeste, like at the end of Farewell. That's what it kind of reminds me of, except you have a lot less room to think because it's scrolling for you. I don't know. People often forget that, like, it's very hard to make a good hard level, and it's also very hard to make a good easy level. Because if making easy levels is insanely difficult.
Because it can be like, really boring if you make it wrong.
You have to make it like entertaining. You have to introduce things nicely. For example, like, I'm pretty sure there was an interview talking about how in like Mario games, often the first level is like one of the last ones they do because you have to absolutely nail it. Mm-hmm. And then there's New Super Mario Bros, which just lets you crush through the whole thing with a Mega Mushroom. But there are a lot of secrets on the way.
Yeah.
So that's fun. I didn't even know there was a sky area on that level until like somewhat recently. There's like a hidden vine somewhere, which is pretty cool. I love all the secrets they put in level ones. But yeah, same goes with demons. You have to follow like really nice game design. You can't just like go, oh, I'm gonna make the hardest level ever and be an absolute idiot, because then you get Ice Carbon Diablo X, and that is a garbage level. Mm-hmm. I even played like through Cataclysm at like half speed. I played through it at like half speed with practice, just to like see what the level's all about. I genuinely thought Cataclysm was a bad level.
It is.
Like, it's filled with trolls. The gameplay is really mediocre.
And it's inconsistent. Like, the 40 ship is ridiculous. Even in New Cat, like, the 40 ship is just stupid.
I don't know. I don't really... As far as I'm concerned, New Cat just doesn't exist. I refuse to believe that he went and remade it. I do not care for New Cat at all.
Neither do I.
All right, moving on.
This is... I'm going to bet to something you probably regret making, but, the Pusab Police. Why did you create it, and why did you end up abandoning it?
It all started when I got a Twitter DM of someone making a meme where I think it was just a YouTube thumbnail which had the wrong Pusab. And I was like, hey, you know that's not the right font. it's been in the back of my head bothering me, like, how do people not notice this? So I was like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I made like a video on this? This is when I was like big on like making rants on stuff, even though I didn't actually publish that many. I had a lot of rants written, like I wanted to rant about people like clickbaiting fan-made stuff. Like, you know, those like fan-made vaults and stuff. I really wanted to make a rant about how bad they were. And funny enough, I think that's part of where my April Fool's video this year came from. That was kind of me like getting back at them by making an actual good fan made. I've never really revealed that anywhere, but one of my biggest motives with the April Fool's video this year was that I wanted to totally one up all those fan made videos by like actually modding something in. So I worked with a bunch of people and we got it to work, and that was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
So Pusab Police basically just started as a rant video. And I was like, hey guys, so next time you see someone using the wrong font, make sure to spam their comment section and harass them. And then I opened up a subreddit for posting like people using, and I think I started the subreddit just because I saw like an actual bag of marshmallows using the font, and I thought that would be funny. Don't invite a bunch of 10-year-old fans to a subreddit.
Yeah, I was about to say
Don't.
also
That is not a good idea.
And also, don't publicly tell them to harass people's comment sections. That is a massive mistake. I can already tell you. That is
Let's not talk about that long. I'm still very mad at it. I feel like I cannot undo that.
Yeah. Is that
I'm looking at my videos here. I've noticed that I forgot. I was stuck from like 30K to 40K subscribers. That was probably the longest jump for me. I was stuck at 35K for a long time despite making videos. And I think that's just because like my videos weren't good. Eventually I met up with Juniper. I started doing like more Junie style videos, animations. I made a lot of Dunsparce jokes. I made a lot of Moana jokes.
Oh yeah, remember when you sang frickin' You're Welcome that one time?
What can I say except first video with voice was it was the Mario Paint stream highlights on August 31st, 2017, which was
I remember that one.
3 months after meeting Juniper and Jaden, so they really got me to do it. They were doing it. Why not me? Also, TTS just sounds stupid, especially that dumb Daniel voice that they use in. If I see a Reddit video that uses text-to-speech, I immediately dislike it.
Ooh. Okay. So you brought up the animation, like the Juniper style animation videos.
Animation in lowercase a in quotation marks.
Yeah. Was there a reason you started phasing them out? Because, like, despite the fact a lot of people see you as the guy who's like in the animation room with Dunsparce and like the
that
old
was like
creeper
a very
you.
brief period. Honestly.
Yeah, like you don't do that anymore. Is there a reason why?
I just took a lot of inspiration from a Junie there. Honestly, I felt like, first of all, they're just kind of tedious to make. It's just like constantly sitting there in front of a computer placing a million keyframes. It's not like terrible by any means. And also, I just didn't have many ideas for it that weren't like corny or dumb. I still think that GD story levels in a nutshell video is my favorite execution of it. I thought Dashlands was pretty bad. The GD story levels in a nutshell video, I know a lot of people didn't watch that one, and the mic was pretty bad as well.
I thought that one was pretty funny.
Lots of people don't understand. I genuinely just pulled up Audacity and a mic and just started talking into it. The whole video is completely improvised. And then I animated it after. And I think that's what I love about it so much. It's just, I'm just kind of talking about like why every single, it's also just me kind of like, it's also another like subtle rant video. Again, instead of just making direct rants, I would stick them into videos. Like, this is kind of me making fun of how every level follows the same plot of like, oh no, it's a hacker, RobTop, save us. And I think one of the jokes not many people picked up on is just how all the characters have the dumbest names because they use like actual GD usernames for them. So it's like, hello, XGD Gamer X. I still love that video so much. I had a lot of fun making it. I wish I still enjoyed making videos that much, but I hope it'll come back one day.
I think personally, it's just you have to find that like burn. You have to find that desire again.
I've been making videos for years. Like, I used to do it so consistently. I would upload like every day, slowly turned into every week, but higher quality. Back in 2018, I was uploading such good videos. By the time I hit like high school, it kind of died out. Now I'd maybe upload like 1 or 2 videos a month. And now I think the flame is dead. I just need to chill for a bit.
Yeah, I know for
I
me.
don't think I've never taken this long of a break. I used to always I think I've uploaded at least one video a month until like 2020. I just need to chill from it. I'm sure once 2.2 comes out, if it'll all come back, then I'll get a lot more into it. I experimented with a lot of new content, like recording just shapes and beats or the Terraria playthrough, which was a disaster.
Vegan Minecraft.
I came up with a good analogy for it though. Imagine walking into like, or actually no, here's what I like to say. This might not make sense as you're not Canadian, but there was a very brief time period where Tim Hortons sold burgers.
Who the hell is Tim Horton?
So Tim Hortons is like your like baker. It's like, what do you call it, a bakery? It's like your Dunkin' Donuts. You got like your Timbits, your donuts, your potato wedges. What I'm trying to say is like, imagine walking into like a Starbucks and then saying like, hey, can I get a burger please? That's sort of what it's like for me to make other videos. Like people know me as the Geometry Dash person.
Yeah.
That's what people want from me. That's what people subscribed for. Sure, I want to branch out, but truth is,
People won't let you. Like,
it's not that people won't let me. It's that it's like not really what I built my channel around.
Like you brought that up in a video. You're like, once you become, a GD YouTuber, it's almost impossible to get out because people will just know you for GD. So when you try,
the reason for that is because GD is an endless game. There's no end to GD. It's an entirely community-run game. So as long as people are still uploading levels, the game will still be relevant. It's like that with like, it works with Minecraft as long as you're like playing mods and playing in servers. It works with like Mario Maker. Mario Maker's a good example. There's YouTubers who are still playing Mario Maker. I think that's awesome though. If a game is run by the community, you're going to be getting content out of it for a very, very, very long time. And I'm hoping 2.2 makes me a lot more motivated. In fact, I'm almost sure it will, because I'm going to have a lot to say about that update, and I'm going to be very excited to get it out there. And that's what pushes me to make videos in the first place. I have a funny idea or thoughts I want to share, and I just want to get it out there. Whether if it's like satire or a fact video. I mean, that facts video I made was mostly jokes, but there were a few facts that I genuinely wanted to share with the community because I thought they were interesting. Like the fact that the supporter icon was replaced with Scratch because you're not allowed to bribe people to rate your game on Google Play, which ended up being the reason it got taken down on Google Play and 2.2 got leaked, which is very funny because Viper refused to tell anyone about that, but I knew all along.
Wait. Okay, when you said it was replaced with Scratch, I immediately thought of like the coding website scratch.mit.edu.
No.
I don't know
I mean,
why.
like it gets replaced with like a dialogue box from Scratch saying like, "Hey, here's a free sample," which is I think that's a very good workaround.
Yeah, that's.
I like what Rob did there.
So
and the unlock description just says you are playing Geometry Dash. Thanks.
Yeah.
Very smooth.
So you're also known as like a guy who does coding, and since you created RobotOp and like
yeah, RobotOp is where it's all started. That's where I learned to code.
Oh,
I self-taught myself JavaScript.
I was about to actually ask.
I learned a bit of like C for Unity, but it was like a very, very basic game. JavaScript's where I like genuinely learned the code and like understood what I was typing.
I was gonna ask what inspired you to code. If that was...
Well, what inspired me to like make my channel in the first place? What inspired me to do any of this? I just like making things. There's your answer. I like making levels. I like making videos. I've been touching editors since I was like playing Flash games online.
You brought that up, Mario 63.
Mario Flash editor.
Mario 63, you brought that up.
Super Mario 63, Mario Flash. I still have the old levels I made. There's a really funny one I made when I was really young called Stupid Idiot Gallery, where the whole level is just like enemies walking into lava where they can't kill you. So you're standing at the top observing them, and they all just walk into like lava, and they constantly die, and you're supposed to be like laughing at them. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but at the very end of the level, there's a mushroom where if you pick up the mushroom, you're soft locked because you can't get through one of the gaps. I probably didn't intend to do that, but the fact that I did that makes it so at the end it's like you become the stupid idiot. And it's I was in a VC during this. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen
That is
that
actually
came out of
really funny.
myself. Especially because I didn't even mean to do that.
That reminds me of, like, because I played a lot of Flash games back in the day, too. Especially, like, I remember I played, like, the Super Mario Flash games you brought. But also, like, I remember playing this one where you got shot out of a cannon or something as Mario. I don't know why.
I probably know. I've probably played it. I replayed a lot of Flash games before Flash died. Did I end up beating Mario Flash? I think I beat Mario Flash.
Oh, if you're actually curious, there is actually a way to still play Flash games, if you know about Flashpoint.
I have Flashpoint, I have Ruffle, I also the Flash player and everything. What was I going to say about... Yeah, Mario 63. I actually learned the speedrun route for that game. There's so many secrets in the game. You can speedrun it in about 10 minutes. Very fun speedrun route, actually. You just zip right to Bowser's Castle. The second tutorial, though, is the hardest part. Alright. Any other questions? Let's keep this going.
I have like 2 left. I'll go.
Obviously, I can't cover anything. I'd love to talk more about like coding or my old videos, but we're not.
Yeah, we could cover that in a future episode if people want to see it.
All you really have to know about coding is just that like I had a ton of... I would see other Discord bots and I would think, oh, there's so many cool things I want to make. Too bad I don't know how to code. One day I was like, you know what? Damn it, I'm gonna make the things that I want to make. I want to learn to code. I know it's possible because I've coded some cool stuff in like the VVVVVV editor, which has a scripting language, so that's cool. I've recreated other games in Geometry Dash. I can learn heckin' JavaScript. And although my old code makes me vomit, I still have some of my really old code running RobotOp. I'm probably going to rework it at some point. That just means I'm improving like crazy. I know a lot of stuff in and out. I know Java now as well. I know Python now. I really want to learn like C# or C++ for modding the game. I'm definitely going to look into that sooner or later. I want to get into computer engineering as well. I feel like this is like definitely my talent.
What you want to do in the future in terms of like a job?
I don't really like saying talent because I learned a lot about this in psychology class. Actually, I was researching myself for a presentation. Talent tends to come from like... You're not born with the talent. You're just born interested in certain subjects, and because you spend so much time like messing around with that field, it becomes your talent. The thing is that like obviously practice is important, but you don't really need to practice so hard if you just genuinely enjoy doing it. Like if you constantly tell yourself like, I suck at drawing, so I'm gonna practice every day until I'm the best, that's not going to hit nearly as hard as a person who's just born who's just born not good at art, but born like loving doing it. It's not about being born good at the skill. It's about being born
wanting to
enjoy it and like wanting to do it, having fun doing it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's where people get good at like sports or something. Like I genuinely have a lot of fun coding, even though it can be like miserable when something doesn't work. In the grand scheme of things, I'm making really funny stuff. I made an entire GD level in Google Sheets. I made the whole editor in Google Sheets. Yeah. I made a bot that generates GD layouts. One of the reasons I list all my projects on gdcolon.com is because I'm genuinely losing track of everything I've made. Every Word Dash, GD browser, the logo generator is genuinely really cool. That all started because I noticed that the thing that JavaScript the image library it uses the same font format as Geometry Dash, which is like the fonts are sprite sheets, which means they support colors. So I made one for that mimics the GD logo. Yeah. Actually, so we should move on. I could talk forever about coding.
Yeah, I was about to say, I actually have dabbled with coding before. Have you ever seen those videos where it's like, oh yeah, make a game using Notepad, and it's like you have to make like a .bat file, and like you play it through command prompt? I actually did do a few of those. In fact, my dad accused me.
Why would you make a game through Notepad? Do you know what that means? That means that you're writing all the code in Notepad, then you're just changing the file extension to something else. Why don't you just write it in a code editor and then change the file extension?
I mean, because...
Like, why do you have to do Notepad? Why don't you just download a code editor? What do you think a code editor is? It's Notepad, but for code.
Well, you see...
You can edit TXT files in code editor.
I mean...
You could even probably enable, like, syntax highlighting for them. But why does it have to be a TXT file? The only difference between,
simple.
like,
Simple.
It sounds cool.
It's simple. It's because...
The only difference between like a .js file or .python file and a text file is that there's literally no difference. They're all just text files, except some programs highlight certain words for them. That's the only real difference.
Well, you see, when you're born and your parents are like, oh yeah, we're not gonna let you install anything without our permission, so you have to ask them for everything. You know, you kind of learn to figure out some workarounds. You're like, I want to make a game. How to make a game using Notepad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, file extensions barely even mean anything. Like, file extensions quite literally are just so the computer knows what program to open the file with.
Yeah, and that's actually how I broke my computer once. I accidentally got my computer to open some, like, I think I got to, like, open, like, exe files in some other program, meaning that all exe files on my computer were broken and couldn't open. And
Why don't you just change the default again?
Well, I didn't know how, and my dad was, like, so mad at me. He was like, I fucking hate you. And I'm like, God damn it, I messed up. I was, like, crying. I was so upset.
Alright, yeah, we should move on.
Yeah.
Coding good.
Yeah.
Long story short.
Is there anything you regret doing? Like, any video you regret making, or any project that you kind of wish you hadn't done?
If I regret it, it's probably unlisted. So let me just check my unlisted videos. One thing I don't regret was GD versus real life. I thought that was a very funny video, even though it was basically just stealing a popular trend off Minecrafters. I feel like the person who copy-struck the video was definitely in the wrong there. I think he was a total jerk for doing that.
Wait, someone copy-struck the video?
Yeah, that was a video like a copy-struck. I think... What do I regret? I just kind of look at everything as a learning experience. I know that sounds really stupid.
I mean, that's fair. Like, when you make a mistake...
The one thing I do regret... There's only one thing I regret, and that's Colin plays MC.
I mean, that's fair.
Well, I mean, I even learned from that, too.
Don't change
I learned from that, too. I learned that you genuinely can only change your name a couple times. But I also learned how to transfer to a brand account and bypass that restriction. I doubt that even works anymore.
I wish I had done that, because if my other YouTube channel became a brand account and I had another account attached to it, I would still have access to that channel to this day. And that's probably my biggest regret. Like, sure, it's like, here's the thing. I view this like...
Oh, I know my biggest regret, actually. How could I forget this? I was focusing too much on the YouTube channel that I forgot about social media. You probably know what it is.
Which social media? Twitter?
Actually, Club Colon's also a pretty big regret, but I genuinely no idea what I was doing. So, I don't know if we want to talk too much about the stuff that goes on like Twitter as opposed to my YouTube channel, but
that's fine.
All I'm gonna say is Tuesday, January 1st, 2020. One word, Phil. That was
Okay.
I don't know if I feel too comfortable talking about it. I think I'm just genuinely upset because it showed how little I actually cared about my followers. I was basically posting shock content for them.
I do not.
And laughing at it because I didn't really care.
I swear, I'm not sure if it's my brain just playing tricks on me. Be like, oh, Phil, of course I remember that name. That's such a popular name. Or if it's like a genuine, but I feel like I might know what you're talking about. But I'm not sure.
If you do, you do. I'm not gonna say too much.
Which is
I
fair.
just think it would have been a funny joke it would have been a funny joke, but I took it way too far. I shouldn't have posted like genuinely shocking images. I shouldn't have posted like disturbing tweets. I should have just made like lighthearted jokes and then pulled the plug after a bit. But I took it way too far. I don't want to say my friends were encouraging me, even though we were all finding it funny together. I think it's totally my fault. I think what really made me stop was when I noticed that lots of people, like, I was laughing at the fact that people were unfollowing me, but I stopped when I noticed that friends were unfollowing me, like friends I've known for a while. And I feel bad because it took me friends to realize that, when in reality I'm the one being followed by like 10,000 people back then. And that proves that I didn't care about any of them. I only actually cared once a friend left. And I don't know, that hurts, man.
Yeah, that reminds me of earlier this year.
If anyone out there doesn't know what I'm talking about,
probably don't want to know.
I don't think you want to know.
Yeah.
It's all on the Internet Archive if you really care, but I don't recommend looking there as it's very disturbing.
I honestly wouldn't want. Here's the thing. For me, curiosity tends to get the better of me. But at the same time, I have like a filter. But also at the same time, I've done a lot of stupid shit. And all I'm going to say is, I'm an idiot who did the Reddit 50/50 challenge and saw some really, really, really disturbing shit. Like, oh, look, this guy was ran over by a train. Here's his corpse. Yeah, and that's something I actually saw.
I don't want to like erase the past or anything. I don't care that like it's archived anywhere. I don't care that I have that my unlisted videos are still viewable. I think that just shows that like it's not something I'm particularly proud of anymore. If you want to go and see it for yourself, sure, I can't stop you, but like keep in mind that like I openly admitted that I very much regret it. It's not really I'm not proud of it, and don't hold it against me because it's just something dumb I did in the past and admitted was wrong.
Yeah, that's something I've had to deal with a lot, especially this year. Like, you brought up, as soon as you said January 1st, 2020, I immediately thought you meant January 1st, 2021.
January 21st.
Oh, damn it, 21st. Okay, I heard it was
Tuesday.
January 1st.
I only know that because of Gyro. He's the one who remembered the date, and then I did as well.
But, like, this year, I've dealt with so much stuff dealing with my past. Like, oh, you copied this a couple months ago. Oh, you made a mistake using, somewhat leaking someone's face earlier, which I will explain that story a bit. Sometime last year, I was on a call in my Discord server back when that was still alive, and someone in that call, I don't really want to bring up names here, simply because I don't want to like spark more drama. They sent me their face in DMs, and they hadn't revealed it yet, but they just sent it to me. I don't remember exactly why, and I remember asking them if I could send it in the Discord server. And, like, I think they said maybe. And I guess for some reason, I thought that meant yes. So I sent it anyways. That was a major mistake. So, yeah, as you could probably guess, that led to some unfavorable stuff on Twitter earlier this year.
Yeah, people are very picky with, like, anonymity online. I don't blame them, because it's so different from, like, IRL. I just also find it really weird, because, like, once you're in the real world, you don't care if people know you. You don't care if people know your face. You don't care if people know your name. Chances are, if someone asked you for your name IRL, you'd probably even give them your full name. Like your full name, last name, everything about that. As soon as you're online, it all becomes so precious because, like, you don't want the whole world to know it. You just want your friends to know it. I mean, and who the heck can you trust?
That's probably the reason why I don't really care. Like, I've said my full name before. I've said the state I live in. Hell, I've even said the city I live in sometimes. Although it's like kind of wrong.
The problem on the internet is trust. You never know if all your stuff could just be thrown out there and used maliciously.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like
when you're in the real world, like it's not like all your conversations are being like recorded, and even if it's like a security camera, what the heck are they gonna do with that? They're probably too busy catching robbers or something at like 144p.
My thought process is just, well, you see, if someone hated you that much, they could find the information anyways. So who the hell cares? Like I've heard stories, like, I know Unknown has been doxxed to death, and I feel genuinely bad for him. Like, he's had some really terrible stuff happen to him.
It really hurts to think about.
Yeah, like, Juniper has had some doxing issues before, I've heard. Like, people, the more recent thing where Jay Ghost got his nudes leaked because Vernam's a bitch. Stuff like that. It's just like
people who go out of the way to do that stuff.
Yeah, they're terrible people. They don't deserve a platform. That's just because
I don't blame the people as much who like spread it, because that's kind of inevitable. It's the people that go out of the way and take little bits of like everything they know about you and piece it together to figure out exactly who they are.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's with malicious intent. Sometimes they're just genuinely curious. Like, they see all these details match up, and they're like, hey, I wonder if I could use this to figure out, like... In fact, that's how I figured out Juniper's state. She left little details over her videos and mostly through other friends, actually. And she later admitted, yeah. I'm not going to give any more details on that, obviously. I feel bad just saying it. But it's like that with everyone.
I mean, yeah, that's just how it is, but...
I think...
The main problem is just when people go out of their way to, like, force their way into someone's life and earn their trust so that they will be told some stuff. And then like, oh, hi everyone, here's some information this guy doesn't want you to know. You know, because not only are you leaking stuff they didn't want out there, but you're also betraying their trust, which hurts a lot more than if you just dox them outright. Because you're just essentially backstabbing them, and coming from someone who knows how that feels, it hurts a lot.
Like, even just going out of your way to figure it out for yourself, that's kind of a bad thing. Like, obviously people are very curious. And I'm sure people understand it's wrong, but it's just kind of like not a good thing. It's none of your business. Yeah. So you should just tell yourself, no, it's not something I should be looking for. It'll lead you down a bad path.
Yeah. One last question for today. Again, we might do another episode later on the line where you come back or something. Sure. This is more of a joke one, but I'm still curious about it. I'm sure a lot of people still are. Longtime fans of yours might remember the video where you sadly announced that you were blocked by Mika. Are you still blocked by Mika on Twitter.com?
I think so. Let me check.
There's no way.
What even is Mika's Twitter?
I have no idea. But I remember seeing that video, and
is Mika still up? Oh, Mika hasn't uploaded for 10 months.
Oh, damn.
I'm still blocked, yeah. Can confirm. Mika YT.
Damn. I remember seeing that video and like thinking it was like the funniest thing. I don't know why, but
I thought it was hilarious too. We were all memeing on Mika. I actually made a joke video on Mika, like falsely interpreting his captions. Like he was talking really fast in Spanish, and I tried to like make it sound like English using captions. I ended up unlisting it though, just because I heard that Mika was actually going around copy striking a bunch of people, and I didn't really want to deal with that. So it was a pretty big shit post, so I didn't really care that much. It was just to stay on the safe side. Some people saw it, some people didn't.
Yeah, I do know that I actually, if you remember that one video I made, like the GD tribute video, I actually took bits of that video and had to edit it a bit so that I could get like just the background images. And I remember being like, oh yeah, this is a great setting for a sad scene. So I remember I freaking took the Mika video and made it cause you know in Up in the opening scene, there's the part where like they have the miscarriage and it's super sad. I was like, you know, it'd be funny if I took the miscarriage scene and translate it to the Mika and to the colon getting blocked scene by Mika.
And I remember really just like post all of my assets online. Like I have so many video assets that I don't use anymore, and I want to just post them somewhere. I might put it on my website or something.
That'd be cool, honestly. I'd love to see what people could do if like the old like office background set, or like that'd be cool to see what people do with that. Because I remember I had to like reconstruct it using like bits and pieces of your videos and like cutting out like your icon. And
that must have sucked. Considering I have shared it a lot around.
It's not. Well, it wasn't that hard.
I updated it so much.
It wasn't that hard because all I had to do was just take a screenshot.
Probably not gonna see it again, though. Let's be real.
All I had to do was like
done that, and the only reason I would ever bring it back is if I use it as like a nostalgia thing. I wouldn't unironically use it again, though.
Yeah, that's sort of like how I used to way back in the day. I remember there was a lot of things I did back in the day that I don't really do now, like. I had this old character that one of my friends made me for free, and like I used it a lot. I used it in like one of my videos where I like parodied Nathaniel Bandy's Triggered series, which by the way, I'm actually pretty proud of that video. I think I did a good job. Yeah, in fact, I remember I posted it in the Minus World Discord server, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this actually is a pretty good parody. Great job!" And like I felt so happy. It wasn't even like Nathaniel saw it. It was just people from the server who didn't even know JordanTRS. They're like, "Oh, this is actually pretty good."
A lot of people actually call me out for like copying that idea for like 100 annoying things about Geometry Dash. That was actually more inspired by another channel, Really Freaking Clever. He made some joke videos about like 64 things wrong with Zelda. Thought it was the funniest thing ever. Very similar style to the Triggered series. That's kind of what I went off of. I spent a long time coming up with that list, by the way. Months.
Yeah, I remember people got mad at me because I made a video. I think it was called like How Geometry... Not How Geometry... It was like a... Oh yeah, actually it kind of was that video, and also another video I'd made where it was like, all your geometry just painted one video, And some people got mad at me because they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you stole a bunch of these from GD colon." I'm like, to be fair, some of them.
It's a game. It's a game. You do things in the game. Other people. The only reason I listed those 100 things is because they've happened to many other people.
Yeah, I know. So it's like I saw your videos, like, oh
yeah.
yeah, I've experienced that before. Like you brought.
I mean, don't just like plagiarize me.
Yeah, I know. Like there's a bunch of things I brought.
Put your
like,
own creative twist on it.
Like I brought up the fact that sometimes your account doesn't save, which the only reason I brought that up is because I've had to deal with that so many times.
It's because you have too many levels downloaded.
Yeah,
Clear your levels. Get rid of all the copied levels you don't need anymore. The servers can only save like 30, 40-ish megabytes. If you download too many levels, you're going to fly past that.
Yeah.
For example, Ocular Miracles, like 10, 20 megabytes alone. Which, so if you have like 4 Ocular Miracles, that's probably enough for your account not to save anymore.
Yeah, so I remember that caused me to lose data when I was transferring from my old laptop to my new computer.
That's why I added file size to the GD level viewer site.
Yeah.
Well, it's approximate because it uses unencrypted. I don't actually know it is encrypted, so whatever.
But
I know this is kind of inconsistent with what I said earlier, but I'm actually really proud of my most popular videos looking at it. Like, I would always think, what not to make. I know it's the newer version of what not to put in your level, but it's still cringe. I rewatched that video. I thought it was very good. I thought I did a good job remaking it. What I didn't do a good job at was when I originally rendered it in like 480p at 10 FPS, but I found the files like a month later and re-rendered it and unlisted the old one, even though it had 1 million views at the time. That was a good call. I'm glad I didn't leave that. I'm glad even though it had 1 million views, I didn't leave that one up. Because the new one right now has 6 million, and it's in actual good quality.
That reminds me of some stuff
I would much rather have that than be in pain by a super laggy video that What hurts though would be the fact that no one would comment on the fact that like it was so laggy because everyone would try to filter it out and focus on the video itself, which just hurts even more because they know it exists. I know it exists. Just say it.
I remember
GD ads. I love that video. 100 annoying things. Honest trailer.
Okay.
God,
I remember when you were
videos.
making those on stream, the ads. I distinctly remember you making those on stream and watching it. That was actually pretty funny.
That was so fun. Oh my god.
I remember
that was like one of my first face cam things.
I remember I showed my grandma that video, like, because I used to watch YouTube on my TV with my grandma, and she actually liked it. I only
started doing YouTube on TV recently with some friends. It's so cool. You can just like queue things up from your phone. I love it.
Yeah, it is really cool. But I think she thought that you were me for a moment. I'm not sure.
Is that my Jordan?
Yeah, kind of like that. I think, anyways, this was like a year ago or something, but like I think that was what happened.
Oh my god, the how to make less annoying gameplay is getting popular. That's so good because I genuinely love that video. I just took all sorts of game design rules.
Oh yeah.
I think going forward, I just want to see more of like my technical videos gain traction. I think those are the ones I'm really proud of because I spend a lot of time like coding them. 150th secret coin, even though it's clickbaity, I'm still kind of proud of it. April Fools is like your clickbait pass. That's what I always say. Yeah. The GD with stupid controllers. I hope that one does well, even though it's not really coding. I just want more of the unique stuff to get out there.
Yeah.
I think if we ever do talk again, I'd love to talk more about like the coding side of what I do. YouTube is like very, very pushed aside now. Now I'm a lot more focused on just like programming and being annoying on Twitter and playing other games. I'd love to talk more about the programming. That you could get an hour out of that easily.
Yeah, I did have a
browser, the save viewer. I've made some bangers.
Yeah. But so yeah, that's the end of this episode, if you want to call it that.
Oh, I was initially so scared because I have like 0 attention span. I was prepared to like talk to you while like coding in the background while browsing YouTube on another monitor. Nah, I was just sitting here chatting the whole time. Maybe like once or twice like scrolling through Twitter. I'm surprised.
Yeah, that's exactly how I am. Like ADHD, man, like there's been so many times where I'll be like, okay, I have to focus on this one thing, and then I'll start focusing on it, and as it goes, I'm like, I kind of want to check.
Well, you have to remember,
Twitter.
If you have ADHD, you focus on what you're interested in, and conversations can be pretty dang interesting. I'll say that.
That is true. That's probably the reason why I started this series, because I would watch this one wrestling podcast thing called the Broken Skull Sessions, And
And you just leave it running, and you're like, wait, did I really just leave that running for 2 hours? And I was entertained by it?
yeah, and like it was even like a podcast thing.
works.
It was a video. Like they showed stuff on screen. They were always like around like 2 hours long. I'd always watch them, just full attention on it while like eating or something, and I'd be like, oh yeah, this is interesting. I love this. And so I wanted to do it myself, and that's why I made this series. But yeah, again, thank you for being on the show today.
I talk a lot.
Yeah.
Go figure.
It's fine. This is definitely the longest episode so far, but I'm okay with that.
You've only uploaded like 2 episodes.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but
All right. Well, good luck on everything.
yeah, thank you for being here. And thank you all for watching. Subscribe to Colin or follow him on Twitter or whatever. What do you want to promote?
Subscribe to Scott the Waz. He's funny.
Yo, yeah, Scott the Waz. I
get all my humor. I get all my humor from him now.
No, okay. There's no way. Coincidentally, I'm wearing my Scott the Waz shirt right now.
You have one?
Yeah, I have one. It's very, very.
Oh man.
It's like kind of war torn. Like there's like kind of faint, but it's still there.
I don't want to go into too much detail in this since we're wrapping up, but
Yeah.
like I don't think I want to worry about merch ever. That I'm too weirded out by the idea of people wearing my brand as they walk around in like school. It's like they're trying to get bullied. GD colon. I was thinking like a Punctuation army sweater. Nah, I don't think that's happening. I'm not a merch guy. I don't like the idea of like wearing YouTuber stuff.
I personally
I just like my OO shirt.
I like wearing merch. I have my own merch. I just wear it because I think it's cool that I can have my own merch and my icon. Be like, well, look, I made that. Like, I just think that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Do I really want to talk about this even though we're like right at the end? I actually went to a website and made like 2 Geometry Dash shirts and wore them for the longest time. Don't tell anybody. Let them discover it on their own from this video. No, I will not send pictures.
Damn, you're gonna keep us guessing.
There you go. There's your review. There's your big reveal. If enough people harass me about it, I guess I'll share it.
Well, guess,
We'll
but
see.
no one's gonna harass you about it because this video is only gonna get like 200 views and nobody's gonna care.
Whatever. What matters is that you're doing it out of a passion project. I think it's a cool thing.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe one of them will blow up. Just find interesting people. Find the most clickbaity people. Put them in the title.
Wait.
Just again, title and thumbnail. Find a good thumbnail. Find a good title, and just make something that would make someone think, "Yo, I wanna click this. I wanna watch this."
Dude, I just thought, interview with RobTop. And it's like a 2-hour long video. And I'm like, okay,
It's
so
like
why
10-20 minutes.
Or even just 10-20 minutes. It would still work because people
I
are
know.
like,
I know. I feel bad because Junie really wanted to make that video, but I told her I was gonna make it instead, and she didn't take that very well. But you know, I needed content, and also I just thought it was a really cool thing to get out there. That was like the first time Rob has ever talked with people.
I remember I made a video that I'll be honest, I kind of stole your title and thumbnail for a video I did where it was, instead of RobTop, it was Riot. Because Riot joined the VC and the GD server like once. So I was like, oh yeah, I could take Colin's thumbnail and edit it so it's
Thumbnail
RobTop.
for that one is bad.
Riot.
I'm not proud of the thumbnail for that one. Just keep in mind that like I've been playing the game for like 4, 5, 6 years maybe. I've had so many burning questions with RobTop. Once I did a Q&A on the GD wiki, I just asked like, hey, do you use the same editor as everyone else? He said yes, which I still find very cool. But I've had so many burning questions. Most notably, for like 4 years, I've always wanted him to add a Boomlings icon. The fact that I got to ask him that and he actually said, sure, I'll look into it. And then he revealed it later on. That is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if that was me in particular that caused it to happen. But God, does that ever feel good? Because I've wanted that for like since 1.9.
Oh yeah. Also, I remember you inspired me to recreate those icons in 2.1.
Oh, we're totally going off the rails now. We could easily talk forever.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah.
Jordan's pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for being here.
See ya.
See ya.
I'm not a furry.
Yeah, I am though.